Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is bring about conversations of a psychological, mental health, emotional health paradigm. We do that as often as we can, usually several times per week. We continue to do things as simply and effectively as possible. We get over 1,300 of these, hopefully. There's good things you enjoy. Please subscribe, like, comment below, all that good stuff. If there's something you'd like to see covered, would love to be of assistance to you in that way. There are several signs that people are jealous of you, which is what we're talking about in this particular audio. Signs of jealousy include if the person is looking to bring you down. So they don't want you to have consistently high emotions. High emotions ultimately leads people to at least some level of jealousy or frustration. That is to say, when you are having a better go of it than they are, there is a level of internal competition, and so they're going to potentially insult or be critical of, or in some way make you feel badly about yourself. And that ultimately isn't necessarily a necessary thing, but the other person believes that it is. They don't respect boundaries either. So, a person who is constantly not respecting boundaries, emotional boundaries, mental boundaries, physical boundaries, the amount of time you spend with them, all of these things are testers. And lots of times, jealous individuals won't respect boundaries because they want what you have. So, if they can take you off task away from the nature at which you are living your life or the progress that you're making and try to avoid you getting further ahead of them psychologically, socially, emotionally, whatever have you, then that becomes super, super valuable for them from their perspective. They don't necessarily care about you, they just care that you're not running ahead. They avoid giving you compliments as it relates to things going on in your life. So, a compliment related to you getting engaged, a compliment related to you getting a promotion, a compliment related to you um, finishing school or finding a level of happiness that is above their own, they will avoid those conversations. They're avoiding the conversations because it's shining light on the fact that they haven't accomplished these things for themselves and ultimately brings forth that jealousy even further. They compare what you've accomplished versus what they've accomplished internally, and then they'll compare and say, well, you had it easier because. They'll always use, if they do give a compliment of any sort, they'll use qualifiers as it relates to that compliment, because the idea being that they believe there is a difference as to why they haven't had the opportunity to do the same thing you have or gotten to the place you did. That becomes problematic for a number of reasons, not limited to the fact that that person then believes that you have had benefits they didn't have, which ultimately leads to jealousy, frustration, anger, and all other points in between. The ability to do the comparison, that is to say, that comparison of you had it easier or you had this advantage over me, is also meant to create a certain level of emotional separation. That might even lead to you feeling guilty and thereby giving them a break with things that you normally wouldn't. That level of guilt is actually a way that the person who is insecure is willing to kind of level the playing field, for lack of a better term, which isn't a kind thing to do, but often is a common thing to do when a person doesn't feel that they have a level of control that they're happy with. The last thing in this paradigm is the constant criticism that comes with the idea of what's there. In other words, even if something is going better than expected, even if something is going well, that becomes a problem for the average person in a good way, or in a way that really matters, uh, in a in a in a useful things, uh, you know, in a balanced way, and uh, um, there's interesting things as it relates to balancing forward and connecting things in a good manner, and ultimately balancing things out in a good way for yourself. So beginning to know how to do that is one of the things that's best for you. So hopefully this is helpful. We can continue to connect and continue to add a little bit of value into your life on a day-to-day basis. So until next time, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment.